have 3, which is the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, when you look at the trailer of the documentary that Netflix want to broadcast, there is so much that leaves that is left undesired for our client, Mr. Thabo Bester. Why? Because there is somewhere there where it is stated, one of the speakers in the documentary state that Mr. Bester faked his death and escaped from prison, not allegedly. He speaks it as though it's the gospel truth, as though it's absolute, as though the factual proof to say indeed he faked his death and escaped. And these are the allegations before court. It has never been established, he has never been found guilty at any point. We also have got a challenge with the trailer itself, because we number one, Nandipha. What challenge are we having there? There is a phrase that the father says. He says, I cannot imagine my daughter doing such a thing. The question is, what a thing?
And how does that reflect on Mr. Bester?
We are coming to that. We are coming to that. Then we have an issue of saying, what is such a thing? Definitely when we speak of such a thing, which the trailer has already suggested, one of the speakers says, we don't know whether Dr. Maguduman is an accomplice or a victim. Now, accomplice to what? To Mr. Bester, whom already the trailer has rendered him to have faked his death and escaped from the prison, which is not allegedly, it is stated like that. And I would also want to direct the court to the answering, I think the answering of the respondent, Netflix. There are some interesting that the court really need to look at them in order for us to be able to find them. A reputation of his personality indicated above. This rejected. There is no exploitation of Mr. Bester's life story. The system, as well as broader societal issues about social media, gender-based violence, public safety. This is not Mr. Bester's life story. It is proven this will be a private law claim and remedial through damages. So now they say the documentary is not Mr. Bester's life story on paragraph 28. And I want the court to also look at paragraph 9 of the answering affidavit again. It says on paragraph 9, the Beauty and Bester, which is the subject of this application, is similarly a true crime documentary. True crime documentary. It profiles one of the most notorious events in South Africa, recent criminal justice history, the escape from prison of Mr. Bester. The escape from prison.
Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the only AI you know is ChatGPT.
Let's be real.
It is this documentary which Mr. Bester does not want Netflix viewers to see. The documentary was produced by a company trading, this part is not important for my argument. The most important part is that they said this is not about the life story of Mr. Bester. Now here they come on paragraph 9, that this is about the escape from prison of Mr. Bester. Escape from prison. The problem is this. We said we are arguing on section 35, subsection 3 of the Constitution, whereby everybody has got a right to be proven innocent. Everybody has a right to be declared innocent until proven guilty. Now here we the Netflix, it as a confirmation, as if there is a judgment that means any proof on that. And that is to this documentary. There's a very interesting aspect that tends to fit into some sort of a kangaroo court or a quasi court or a moot court, whatever kind of, because somewhere there is one of the most respected Judge Cameroon.
I said the kangaroo court.
I'm not saying he's the head of the kangaroo court. I will not even dare to say that he's a more. This documentary becomes something, and I will never say that. And I'm not even creating that impression to the court. What I'm saying to the court is,
Yes.
permit me to answer and I will finish my statement. What I'm saying to the court is, we are having Judge Cameroon featured in the documentary, which is just a line in this is what I've seen as a judge and in my life. Now, speaking as a judge and as a commentator, he is there as a judge and he acknowledges his position. He says, as a judge. And I am saying, or rather, we are saying, such because the moment a former judge who has done so much work, we reach, I have so much respect of Judge Cameroon. Talking about this as one of the most shocking stories of his life, then creates a certain element in this documentary to say, it seems like Mr. Thabo Bester documentary is already, it's still about Mr. Bester. Who is Bester? Is Thabo Bester. It's an old movie. Now the beast has been replaced by Bester. So it means that in the nearer future we are likely to ask, what do you know? They won't say who grew up during that time. They will say the Beauty and the Bester. Beast has been replaced by a certain individual. Now we have a beast in person and personified into the person of Thabo Bester. So then this documentary, from its naming, has already brought the person of Thabo Bester. And we cannot sit and keep quiet when Thabo Bester, who is my client and the applicant in this matter, is being turned or rather narrated as the beast. Because that's what the documentary suggests. Proceeding on engaging the answering affidavit, my lady. I have a very, there is something here that is very, on paragraph 27, answering affidavit of the respondent.
Can you refer me to the page, please?
Let me ask my... Paragraph 27 page. Thank you. My colleague just assisted me. He says it's 10005.
Thank you.
I am reading from the hard copies. I'm still functioning old day. At paragraph 28 and 29, exploitation of his personal rights. Documentary about an alleged escape from one of the most secure prisons is in the public interest. Moreover, this documentary social media, gender. Netflix is entitled to commission such course of action based on this. Netflix entitled to make up is alleged to have allowed a convicted man to escape from a maximum security prison. It creates an impression of saying, we have done our research, we have the facts, we have found the truth, Mr. Bester has escaped. But there is no court that has made a judgment and its mind a prison system. A convicted man has escaped from a maximum prison. He must be found guilty. And that's where now we are talking about a fair trial right being eroded or violated. And also, my lady, I want you to also look at something that is very interesting here. On the very same answering of the answering affidavit. It says this time, on paragraph 40 of the answering affidavit, it says about consent, participation and approval rights are legally irrelevant to the relief sought. There is simply no basis upon which a notorious public figure such as Mr. Bester can seek speech about him. Simply these were the law. No speech about public official or public figure will be permissible absent their consent. Now, I want to direct the court specifically Bester can seek to censor speech about simply because he has not given consent. Now, because there is Mr. Bester who is purported notorious, and this has to be questioned, how do we conduct a measure that Netflix to declare somebody notorious? What do we have 1 to 10 to say Mr. Bester you are notorious, or it still come to say there is the right to dignity of Mr. Bester is in question? What's the limit of feelings, emotions, or mind? Then that's where the court needs to look into the erosion of human rights. Because if Mr. Bester is notorious and we can talk about him anyhow and have people speaking there and declaring him guilty as if they've got all the facts right and their claims, then we are having a human rights. And also I want to bring a very interesting in this. You know, the way this documentary has been sensationalized and the vibrations of it, including the emotions created, there is somewhere one speaker on that documentary says, "Are you dangerous?" And they edited it, putting Mr. Best on the other side, saying, yeah, as if he's answering that question that he is dangerous. Now, that is artistic manipulation, very wicked craftiness of the editors of this documentary, because they are sitting there putting stories as if he is confirming that indeed he is a dangerous man.
Where is this in your papers?
It's there in our papers. In my funding papers is there. It's there in my papers. Everything I'm saying is in my papers. I will not waste court time and speak from my mind.
I'm asking you a question, you can just answer it.
Is in our, actually is in our replying affidavit. Is in our replying affidavit.
Yes, because it definitely sounding, so it's something new.
Yes, it's
Something new.
yes, it's. My lady, I didn't get that one. Can you please repeat that? My lady, I didn't get that one. Can you please repeat that?
I said it wasn't in your founding affidavit, so it's something new in your replying affidavit. Wasn't in your founding affidavit, so it's something new in your replying affidavit, David.
It is. It is.
Where is it in your replying affidavit?
Actually, in our funding affidavit, we do manipulative editing that it has. And on our replying, we were expounding on that. Actually, our replying, we're adding more meat to what already is being raised in the answering affidavit.
So where's this about Mr. Bester, and then as though he answers yes, he's dangerous?
I'm going to get the paragraph of the actual paragraph. My lady, on paragraph 31.
Are we in the founding or replying?
Is on my replying.
Okay.
Is on my replying on paragraph 31. On paragraph 31. Excuse me, my lady. It reads thus: as argued in my funding affidavit and elsewhere in this affidavit, Netflix has employed crafty and manipulative editing practices in the publication publication of this documentary, which can also be seen in the trailer, where one of the commentators is shown be asking the question, will you say a video clip of myself is then superimposed after stating something along the lines of, yes, I will say so, or yes. So we have that. So now this also shows that this documentary simply tries to drive a certain narrative about Mr. Thabo Bester. And then now if we have this reflected, whereas on the 19th of Friday, he will be appearing in court. What is the impression there? And so make the public to believe that somebody is guilty. When they are not found guilty, then the judiciary will be looked at with wrong eyes, or will have a bad reputation, simply because there were some prominent people, celebrities, who were speaking, social commentators, that he is guilty. And this is so emotionally created that it becomes one of the greatest assets of manipulation that you look into this documentary. I saw one of the celebrities, well-known figure, crying. I wonder, why is she crying? What does she know? Was she there? So these are some of the questions that we really look into. One of the impressions that is to say they are listing and articles that have been written about Mr. Thabo Bester. To say there has been written his rape cases, his Facebook, them and brought them to court. Because there has been so much published and having the actual proof of that, should we things must be? Because video clips have been made, and Netflix has already described itself as one of the giant media houses that says it has got 300 million, how many? 300 million viewers. Now, if Netflix published this tomorrow, just for 1 hour, with their 6-point-something million after getting that they have under this trailer, with this trailer and this documentary through the trailer, it means that we are going to have people seeing this, and after to see this, a public opinion about Mr. Thabo Bester. That has happened. The question I'm having is this: are we still gonna have the independent? Are we still gonna have a fair trial in that regard?
Sorry, are you saying that a documentary will influence a court, a judge?
I'm saying,
because I find that quite preposterous. Because let's just take it to the end. A judge can only make a finding on the evidence that's before him, and it can definitely not be on a documentary.
I am saying a right. What I'm saying, which is in my papers, I'm saying a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Needs to this documentary. I'm coming base to elaborate my answer. Saying Section 35, subsection 3 of the Constitution, a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, has to be protected, including even with a notorious person as labeled by the respondent, like Thabo Bester. Why? Because should that be, do not know what influence will that, you don't know the amount of influence will that documentary be heavy. And we are saying such documents into the public court carry a weight into the public opinion and interest of the people. And also, my lady, hear my argument within the context of everything that I've been saying for past 30 minutes. I said, in this documentary, we have the accused, one of the co-accused, who is speaking, then repeating that. And she says, I could not imagine my daughter doing such a thing. It's left there so that people can go and watch the documentary to hear what such a thing will be. And justice in that document, as a judge, I have never seen such a thing. What a thing is that? Definitely we are talking about Thabo Bester's alleged escape, which already the answering affidavit have stated that this documentary is about that. Now, my argument says, when such documentary are flighted or broadcasted, we then are standing in one corner of the truth, because he is also not given a right of reply. But that is not part of this argument, it's part B of the argument. I'm just saying it in passing. because it has to balance my argument. Part B has to balance my argument in part A. So the court finding him guilty or not finding him guilty, the moment he goes on the street and is not found.
This is my hack for working smart. Money.com. Let me show how I use Smart to create a tailor-made workflow. First,
now already the documentary has stated some kind of their truth or some kind of their baseless facts to say he has escaped. Now it means the judiciary of South Africa to be inter. There is a case, as I'm closing, there is a case of Setlogelo versus Setlogelo, which is there on my practice notes. The case has laid down very important requirements for an interim interdict. Number one, it stated that a prima facie right, though open, what is required for an interim interdict to be granted by the court? Number one, a prima facie right, though open to some doubt. That's number one. Number two, a well-grounded apprehension of irreparable harm if the interim relief is not granted. Number two, the absence of an adequate alternative remedy. The balance of convenience favor the grant of then the fifth one will be the balance of convenience favors the grant of relief. Now, my lady, when you look look at our founding affidavit, the set out in Setlogelo case, now stated section 35 of the Constitution, a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, which is section 3, also a right to a well-grounded apprehension of irreparable harm if the interim relief is not granted. There is used there to say once the bell is rung and the documentary is flighted, what then will be of Mr. Bester? And people have seen the story, have heard whatever that has been heard. What more will be? Obviously, there will be irreparable harm. After the documentary has played for 1 hour or 2 hours, since they said it's 3 parts, after the first part, they are done with Mr. Bester. He's already guilty by the format of the trailer. Number 3, the alternative remedy. If this documentary of Netflix is not interdicted, it will be for him 200 million followers of Netflix in 160 countries as they boast. Definitely Mr. on earth, he will be known because we saw it in the trailer. The balance of convenience favors the grant of the read what the reason this has to be played or flighted is because they cannot pass in suspense the rights of Mr. Bester. They are at the expense of Mr. We also have the convenience. It will be convenient for the court to accept interdict. I do not see it in our papers. We say the trial end. We can have more because it will have. So they will have a meat to give to their 300 million subscribers. So now, my lady, I have this case that deals with a specific requirement for prohibition of media coming from the case of media television, matter of public prosecution, which the respondent has laid. Here, the Supreme Court of Appeal was asked to forbid the broadcast of a pending criminal. Honorable Judge Nugent held that it might cause one, a demonstrable and essential harm. Number 2, the prejudice will occur. The advantage of curtailing the free flow of information outweighs the benefit of preventing the prejudice. Now, looking into what the media television case has brought, we are sitting now saying, does Mr. Hayes, that can be decided? Indeed, you look at it, my lady, if one of the accused, the co-accused, and the father of one of the accused says, I could not eat a thing. What a thing. And what a thing is there. Definitely it's not talking about her daughter graduating to be a medical doctor. This thing of this alleged escape of Mr. Bester. Definitely it's about that. And number 2, we are talking about the prejudice might occur. The documentary is flighted. Prejudice will occur. What prejudice is that? We can mention close to 20. But for now, I will say to save time, let's mention 2 or 3. 300 people declaring a man whom what do not know I don't know, as if they were there when they saw him escape from a prison. We have that problem now. And we cannot allow that to be flighted because there is a trial coming. Let the trial decide. After the trial to decide. And my lady, this is not the first documentary celebrities with their trials. Monster. Why is this one supposed to come up now? Number 3, the disadvantage benefit of preventing. Now, are affecting the freedom of expression because this documentary is their investment. They can have it and do more parts. It will still be there in their archives. That is in property right or their application to curtail the free flow of information. At the time when they do this, Mr. Bester will be granted a reply. So, my lady, having said that, this brings me to the conclusion of my end to say, grant an interdict of this documentary and to make a disaster case. Looking into the personal right, number 1 is not a right, a right equality. Having said, I thank you, my lady.
Thank you very much. Over to Lisa.
Yes, I'm happy to answer, my lady.
Or do you want to first talk?
Anything, my lady.
Okay. You have the I think perhaps we'll let both of them argue.
Yes.
I think it's going to be easier. Are you ready to proceed?
To set up. Mr. Bester's case, the upfront is obviously for the purpose of convenience, and two cases are markedly different, and I will explain. And not to act. A paragraph from the Constitutional Court. Justice Chris at paragraph 23 of the applicant's head, Ms. Mabuduman, page 12. This is just to set the tone and to privilege this court with the necessary vocab that we are going to binge on and move with it to demonstrate that this case is decided on Section 35 of the Constitution. The response
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone, but getting in the zone.
Test for balancing of Section 35